I'm a cross-country runner. Myself and other track and cross-country athletes struggle with the problem of our spikes ripping our bags and everything inside. We also struggle with our spikes going on the concrete when walking to and from our races. One thing that made us think about this idea was I cut myself with my spikes and it does not feel good. Hi, I'm Jenna and I'm a junior in high school.
Hi, I'm Kelsey and I'm a sophomore.
Hi, I'm Sophia and I'm a sophomore, and we are XCelerate.
We came up with the idea to create an easy slip-on cover to protect the spikes.
This is Steve Lewis, an Olympic track gold medalist. We had the amazing opportunity to talk with him over Zoom. He gave us so many ideas that we have never thought about before. One of them being our name, XCelerate, because he was talking about how, in order to accelerate your run, you need to have sharp spikes. When asked the question, why sharp spikes are important, this is his response. How do you
It's not a smart board.
Oh, it's mothers. We'll have to fix that. Continue on. Just a real quick if I can.
There was a research study done by Oregon State University where they found that sharp spikes give a 6% performance increase to track and cross-country runners. This performance increase is measured by an increase in speed, which comes from more power being generated by the runners because of the positive response that the spikes give. When we conducted our interviews with track and cross-country athletes in our community, we found that 93% of the athletes find it extremely uncomfortable to walk on concrete with their spikes.
Our solution to this problem is to create a silicone cover with a piece of rubber in the middle of two layers to ensure that the spikes do not poke through. The silicone is stretchy, easy to clean, and durable, and it will be form-fitted around the shoe. This is a rough 3D model of our product. When we make it, it will not be as boxy, but like I said, it'll be like form-fitted. Once we get our product made, we will get it in the hands of our fellow teammates so that we can get feedback on how we can improve our product. We started our idea knowing we wanted to solve the problem of ripped bags and ripped water bottles. And we knew we wanted to have easy storage. And after talking to Steve Lewis, we figured out that we want to be able to have them lockable in it. We never thought about it until we talked to him. Now, we want to ensure that the spikes stay sharp, you still have easy storage, and you're able to walk in them.
Currently, there is no product targeted towards track or cross-country athletes to keep their spikes sharp, but there is one brand, Cleat Skins, which creates a cleat guard for soccer cleats, but soccer cleats are plastic and their sharpness doesn't matter because they're not metal spikes that affect your performance while running, and it's $180, which isn't very affordable. The only solution that track and cross-country athletes have is to take and put in their spikes before and after races, which is a very time-consuming and tedious task. And otherwise, they're just left, like most athletes, they leave their spikes in, and then they have to walk on their heels or try to not dull their spikes on the concrete.
Right now, we are marketing on 2 social media platforms, Instagram and TikTok, and we are looking to have a Facebook in the future. We also have our own website, and we are also looking to pay influencers that are involved in the running community to promote our brand. Also, the 3 of us can go to track and cross-country events to sell and promote our product directly to our targeted customers.
Our predicted marketing channels would first be producer to consumer, which would be like us going to the events ourselves and selling directly to our customers. Then in the future, we would like to be producer to retailer to consumer, which would be like us selling to businesses like Nike, who would then sell to our consumers.
We are asking for $100 in order to make our prototype. We need to buy materials and to make our prototype, and we need to try several materials to find out what works best. We also would need the money for marketing, like buying the URL for our website, so it's easy for our customers to find us, and also to promote our brand on social media. We have a difference between sharp and dull spikes for you to see the difference. Here's a sharp spike, and here's a dull. The sharp spikes are brand new, and the dull spikes have been worn for about half a season.
And it's actually most researchers say they've done research on it and they want your spikes to last on average 2 seasons, but that's just comparison of walking on concrete after your races, and that was 1 season. So it's a big difference.
Do you want me to grab? I have the video on my Chromebook.
Sure? Yeah, I don't have access to it. That was the issue.
Should we ask some questions while she's kind of looking for
Yeah.
that? Are you guys, okay, thank you. Ms. Jones. Have you tested any materials to date that might be potential silicone that you're going to be using?
We have silicone. It was just a problem of making a mold because we want it to be around the shoe, so we can't just make the mold out of clay and then not have the shoe in there. So we have the silicone. We just need to test it, but we were also thinking of different materials that would be on the inside of the insert to keep the spikes from hooking all the way through. If they go through the silicone.
Yeah. I'm trying to understand where the riskiest part of, you've got an interesting problem to solve, you're clearly really interested in it, and you've all experienced it as runners. I can see the difference of this. I'm wondering what's going to help you get to the fastest answer or solution, in creating this physical product. Do you know what I mean? Do you have a partner locally that you're working with that is going to maybe be creating some of these molds for you, or?
No, we don't. We were
Okay.
going to do it ourselves.
Okay.
We have an idea of making out of clay, we just didn't have the time to get to that point.
Let me ask you one other question then. For the marketing that you're doing, and you said you've got some things that you've stood up, what is it you're testing with some of your communication channels? Are you testing pricing? Are you testing interest levels?
We're testing more of, not necessarily interest, but more of convenience for the runners. So would they actually use it? Because we don't want it to be something oh, your parents buy for you, so then you don't use it. We want it to be something parents buy or you purchase, and you actually find it convenient and find a use for it after you race and before you race, rather than just have it and not use it.
Okay.
This is a video of Steve Lewis explaining why sharp spikes are important.
Until dull, you're not maximizing that force back, right? So you want to be as efficient, you want to be as much force, and you want to make sure that it's just distributed properly. Once you start putting dull spikes on, you're not giving the give back that you want when you're being a track. And in particularly for longer distances, you're not maximizing.
I'll let someone else ask a question.
How did you get him engaged into this?
Kim, who also helps out with the program, is friends with him, so she got in contact with us.
How many interviews did you do? You had mentioned that you had done interviews with different athletes. How many?
We did 15 with athletes. Primarily they were high school, but we had a few college level athletes in there. And then we did some with coaches too.
Okay. And then as far as putting together your prototype, one thing to consider, I don't know if it's a resource at your school. I know it's a resource at local colleges, but maybe consider using a 3D printer to create your mold. I know quite a few people that have done that with silicone and it works out quite well. So that might be a resource that either you guys already might have access to or one of your mentors can help make that connection for you. It's also inexpensive.
One of the suggestions that I would have as you go forward in this process is looking at what does 6% mean? So you telling me 6%, great. I don't know what that means in the running world. Is that the difference between winning state and not making it to the podium? Or what does that mean? What does that mean for you as an athlete? Is 6% faster going to take you from 4th place to 1st? What does that mean?
Well, in high school, it's not as big of a deal, but once you get to the college and Olympic levels, it's a split second is a big deal. So that's,
Could you maybe so I'm just gonna build off of that. I just think, again, this is tough because you're only gonna maybe be able to make a few samples and then understand if it actually works. But the other thing you need to understand is, are people willing to purchase this, right? Like that is one of your big things. Going down that path with Stephanie saying, hey, demonstrating the 6% improvement would be, not when I say demonstrating, but quantifying it would be helpful. But the other thing you could quantify is how much money it's going to save me in buying a new set of cleats every year. So if this is going to prolong my really sharp cleats, saving me dollars in having to, because again, I don't know, do you buy new cleats or do you just put new sharp things on them?
It depends. You can buy new spikes, but it's also the level of like they won't rip your bags. Like your cleats, your bags are now protected, and it's a more comfortable walk to and from your race. So it's not like it may be more than just saving money too.
So, if as much as evidence as you can bring as to what is the most important part of that value proposition. We've talked about quite a bit of them, but what is the biggest value it's bringing? Is it improvement in performance? Is it saving money? Is it comfort? Learning around that would be good learning to have by your final pitch, okay? So you can do that maybe through surveys or through some of the pieces that you're doing via social media.
This is a great visual.
Mm-hmm.
This makes a real statement. So does a ripped bag. So does a bag that's sitting with a water bottle but was punctured, and now my race clothes are all wet. Using some of those as your visuals, because you aren't going to have nearly the prototypes that other people might have, that would be a great thing too. So use your visuals.
Just to build off of their question on the 6%, I totally got what you guys were talking about because I ran cross country. But when you're pitching this product, especially if you're talking to investors, somebody, whatever, they might not speak your language, and so you need to be able to convey your product and make those examples in a way that someone who hasn't run track or cross country can understand. And that can be difficult, but by doing some customer discovery and talking to people to understand and gauge their understanding of the product, even if they don't know that world, is really important to bring to your pitch.